Jimmy, I want to ask you this question. Tennessee is the final ratings, both AP and coaches came in. Tennessee is in the teens. If I would have told you the moment that Josh Heupel was hired, it they'll be in the teens in 2024, you would have said about that program what?
If they'd have been in the teens in the 2020s in the rankings,
Or 2024?
2024.
2023. It's the 2023 season.
Right. But yes, I'm sorry, headed into the 2024 season. Excuse me. Go ahead.
I would have said he would have done a remarkable job. Look, to get to 11 wins the previous year was a tremendous job. But you also have to remember what he inherited. What a mess that Pruitt left him. So for him to win 7 and then 11 and then 9 games, to me is a tremendous job that he has done. Do I agree with all the decisions he's made? No, but gosh, he's made an awful lot of right decisions. And so I think for them to be in this position, I could have seen Tennessee the first 2 years under Heupel not even making a bowl game with what he was left. But he also comes in and he finds Cedric Tillman, who absolutely did nothing for 3 years. I had no clue he had any talent. I'm thinking that's one of the guys you don't want to keep around. He had 8 catches in 3 years. Then he becomes an all-SEC player and a third-round draft pick. So I think he's done a remarkable job. The players like playing for him. He's got a really fun offense to watch. He's scoring a lot of points. They'll score more points with Nico next year, by the way, than they did this past year with Joe Milton. But I think I would say he's done a remarkable job to get him to this point of the where the program is.
Speaking of, and give me 1 second, Caleb, for those that have questioned some of the play calling that Tennessee has used with Joe Milton, that was way different than Hendon Hooker. Your thoughts on that? Is that a philosophical change, or is that this is what this quarterback can do change?
It's what this quarterback can do change.
I think so too.
You saw a difference in the bowl game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw Nico running a couple times. He had a 19-yard run. He had a couple other runs for touchdowns, but they also put him up under center. Not only did they run from the I formation, they ran from the power I formation. But yeah, the play calling to me was different. You got a different quarterback. I never felt like, and I guess it was after game 4 or 5 that I wrote this, that Joe Milton just simply does not fit this system. Nico does. Hendon Hooker did. And because Nico fits the system, that's why I think the offense will be better next year. Even though I've got a little bit of question marks about his supporting cast, I think the offense will be better because Nico fits the system.
Yeah, I'm going to start with some stats real quick because that's really kind of the center point of the segment that I think is entertaining or intriguing, which is that so Tennessee finished number 17 in the AP and coaches poll this year. For those who don't know, it's the first time since 2003, 2004 that Tennessee finished in the top 20 in back-to-back seasons. It's the first time since 1998-99 that they finished in the top 20 in back-to-back seasons, and one of those seasons was a top 10 finish. So that, Jimmy, what does that say just about, well, here's a question for you. What's more impressive? The fact that Heupel has hit those milestones that I just gave you in year 2 and year 3? Or the fact that he just had a winning record his first year at Tennessee, given how much of a disaster he inherited his first year?
I'm going to go with the initial one about the top 10 and being in the top 20 back-to-back years, because you've done it over 2 years instead of 1 year. Although I do think having a winning record his first year was mighty darn impressive. I'll say this. I thought when he came here, because of his offensive mind, his offensive acumen, I thought the offense would be pretty good. I didn't think it would be as good as it was, and I certainly didn't think they would win 7 games and get to a bowl game. But I'll go with the first option that you gave me because it was done over a 2-year period, not just a 1-year deal.
And if you go back to the teams that Caleb's talking about, those were teams that if they break in the right direction, they're in play for a championship. And I think Tennessee is going to be that program or better for the next 3, 4, 5 years, however long Josh Heupel's the coach.
You're saying there'll be a college football playoff team?
Well, they'll be a contender. They'll be in the conversation, I would think, pretty much each and every year.
Yeah. And see, I've got them just outside the playoff. This obviously with the record that I projected, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. Caleb obviously does. And I'm going to say that Caleb is all in on Nico, right? That would be the reason you would put Tennessee in that position.
Yes, I've said that Nico to Josh Heupel's system is the equivalent of Tim Tebow to Urban Meyer or Tommy Frazier to Tom Osborne. It's that type of match made in heaven.
Yeah, I think so. And Tebow, by the way, I think it was his sophomore year he won the Heisman Trophy. I don't know that, and maybe Nico can be that good. I like him a lot, but I'm not ready. Like I've seen his name mentioned on Heisman Trophy list already. I'm not there with that. Of course, I'll admit I wasn't there with Tebow his sophomore year either, and he won the darn thing. And I didn't think I didn't know Johnny Manziel was that good, and he won it. So if Nico's
was that a match made in heaven though, or was that just Johnny Manziel being that good?
I think it's Manziel being that good. I think Kevin Sumlin got out of the way and said, "Go do your thing," and Manziel said, "Yeah, I can do it." So but I do think it's. I agree with it's a great match, and I think Nico's going to be an outstanding quarterback. I'm having trouble seeing him getting over Alabama, Georgia, and Oklahoma.
Certainly can understand that. It's whether or not Tennessee is going to be at that point, especially that if they lose a couple of people injury wise. I don't know that they have the depth there. As far as Tennessee and what you predict this year, I think Nico is a guy that can swing it. What, Jimmy? For some people, 2 games.
Yes. Yeah,
Dave's running though. Oh, sorry, Jimmy.
What's that?
You go ahead. Go.
No, yeah, I think if he is that good, they could get to 10 wins if he's that good. Now, again, the defense has to play well. The secondary has to play better than it's played. I do like Tennessee's front. I guess I got to call it front 6 because they play a nickel. So I like Tennessee's front 6. I think they have depth. I think they're good in that area. The secondary has to come through and make some plays. Do I think Tennessee could get to 10 wins? I do. I'm having trouble because with this expansion, I just see 3 teams that I don't think they're going to beat.
Yep.
Jimmy, I have to bring this out to you while me and you have stuck our necks out. You notice Dave is running and hiding and has not given his prediction yet for this year.
It's on the website. No, it's on the website.
He's scared to do it on the show. He's scared to be recorded doing it.
I think Tennessee goes 10-2. Losses to, this is obviously way too early, and we can change this if things happen. But my way too early prediction would be 10-2, losing to Georgia and Alabama, making the playoff, not being in the SEC championship game, winning 1 game, losing 1 game. So that would be 11-3.
An Elite 8, basically.
Yes.
I guess if you call it that.
An Elite 8.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a heck of a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see where somebody said that the expectation for Tennessee is to be in the college football playoff. I don't think that should be the expectation. I think it should be a goal. I mean, it's tough. I don't see Tennessee as any better than the 5th best team in the SEC. And if you're the 5th best team in the SEC, well, you're borderline as far as you're not going to make the playoff, right? You're going to have to win 10 games in the SEC. You're in the playoff. To win 9, you'd have to have a lot of breaks.
You also are overlooking Tennessee's very favorable and hospitable schedule next year, which is better than most SEC teams. It's easier.
That can be hospitable, but what I'm curious on Jimmy's take is what should the expectations be? So in 5 years, you should make a 12-team playoff X amount of times.
3 or 4.
Yeah, no, we're
and with a generational quarterback, you don't think a year with a generational quarterback could be one of those 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, I think he could be. Depending on how long he stays here, they could be in the playoff 2 of the 3 years that he's here as a starter.
Good stuff.